In 2007, I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Biology. And man, did I think the future was holding some great things for me. At the time, I planned to be a pharmacist. And as I was applying to universities and colleges and was getting interviews, I was never accepted. I was put on a wait list. And so as the bills started coming and the college loan started to go up, I was forced to take what little skill I had into the job market. And I went to work for a big corporation in 2009. I stayed there until 2014. Made a lot of money, acquired a lot of skills, and I'll get back to that part. But as most jobs, pay changes as companies figure out ways to outsource for lower profits or higher profits with lower overhead. And then I came across this opportunity to work for what was now Tesla. And they had acquired this bigger company that was dealing in solar. And this was a new thing. Solar was making a lot of money. I had some friends that had went from my old job over to the new job, and guys were making some of them $10,000 in a month. And so I wanted to get on that train. So I took my skill set over to solar and with Tesla and thought I was going to do well. Unfortunately, one of the hiring managers over there didn't think I was qualified to stay in the job. And I was struggling a little bit. I was only there for about 3 or 4 weeks. And one day I got called into the office. So guy says, hey, man, could you come this way? Guy named Keith, big, tall motherfucker. And I didn't think nothing about it. It's nothing I did wrong. I was working overtime. I was doing what I was supposed to do. He was like, yeah, man, didn't you end up going to this certain high school? I was like, yeah, we were just walking and talking and shit. We go into this room. There's a white lady there. Now, there's plenty of white ladies in California, but she's holding a check. I'm like, okay, what's this? She's like, unfortunately, Oshay, this is your last day. You're not what we think is going to be a good for this company. It's your last day. Now, I've never been fired before based off of a lack of performance. I was devastated. I just quit my other job to get this job. Can't go back to that job. I have bills. I'm not sure if I'm qualifying for unemployment. How much unemployment is going to be, I don't know. What am I going to do with my life? I'm devastated. I called my mom because I was living with her at that time. And I'm supporting my household partly at this time. Like, I really don't know what to do. My mom, I just got fired. She's like, don't worry about it. I know that you will make do. And so at this particular time, I had nothing planned in my life. Zero. I was fired in November. I started getting unemployment. I was bringing home about $550 a week. And I had nothing else to do. I actually went on another interview with another solar company based out of San Francisco, California. I didn't get that job. And then this is where I decided to never have to depend on these kind of situations ever again. I took some time to think. Even though I was devastated, even though it was hurting to be fired, I took some time to think about what I can do next. What skills have I learned how to do and what I can do next? Now, to add fuel to the fire, I had bought a blog. I spent about $10,000 in that blog. That blog went under. So now I'm unemployed. My blog is going under. I'm running out of money and not much of my 401k. But I decided at this time, the best thing for me to do is to go back to medical school. There's an opportunity. I found it. Got into medical school. I came to Poland with the last money that I had. Came to YouTube. I did very well, doing very well right now. And I've learned in that experience that getting fired or terminated was the best fucking thing that ever happened to me. If I was to see the guy right now that fired me maybe like a month after that, probably in the street, I would have said something to him or could have been ugly. Now I want to find that guy and take him out to fucking a drink. And that's if he's even still working at that company, right? Keith, if you're watching this, if somebody forwards to Keith, hey, when I come back to Sacramento, beer's on me. Thank you. You did me a fucking great favor. And the reason is that whole firing situation gave me some time to think about what I really wanted to do next. And this is important, people, because when you're terminated or you feel bad for being fired, it's a devastating thing, especially as a man. When you work for somebody, you have no real time to think. The employer and their credo, you're working for them. You're working through them. And you're working for their advantage. So your own creativity, you cannot really develop what is good for you based off of them. But when you get fired, you actually get to think. And you're in a dangerous situation where you need to sink or swim very quick. And it's amazing what you can do when you're under those circumstances. It's amazing what the human mind can do when you're under those circumstances. First thing I want to talk to people about today is sit back and think about what is it you can do. Let's rewind back to this job I worked for 5 years, an industry leader. I won many awards in this company. I was actually sent to Disney for a training, and Disney is like the top as far as customer satisfaction, things like this. What I learned from that company helps me right here on YouTube. Working well with people, working in teams, understanding people's different personalities, working in group projects. That skill that I have is not just in my personality. You develop that when you work for great companies. And when you work for great companies and you understand their high level of achievement and delivery every day to the customer, what you then start to understand is, I've learned some skills from these people. I've learned some organization from these people that I can take and use for myself. I'm not working for them anymore, but I take skill sets from them. This is why when you work for other companies, they want to know, where did you work for previously? Oh, you work for that company? You perform well at that company? So now I know that in this system, it might take you a few days to learn, a few of our policies, but you have the skill set to perform well here. But never do you think about you have the skill set to perform well for yourself. And that is the advantage of working for great companies. You have a good advantage of doing things for yourself, whether it's social media, whether it's anything else. But again, take time to think. It's okay to take a week or 2 or 3 weeks off to rest your mind before you get back out there. And many times, if you feel that you have the drive to do things or the ability to want to learn things or the ability to take your skill set and go someplace else, you're always going to do better than the company that let you go. The company that let you go, to them, you were not worth it. And a lot of people feel upset about that, but the thing about it is, do you feel that you're worth it? I talked about that all the time. It didn't matter that Tesla didn't believe in me. It didn't matter that the other company didn't believe in me. What matters is I believed in my skill set. And because of that, I have taken myself further with my skill set than they could ever take me. I'm in Tanzania right now. Just this year alone, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Uganda, I've been to Kenya, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Ukraine, I've been to Tanzania. I mean, the list goes on. Now I'm in a position where it's not even about, oh man, I need to take vacation to go someplace. It's not even the fact that I don't even have enough money. It's just like, do I feel like flying 15 hours to get there? And you get that by being consistent. You get that by understanding your own worth as a person. Now, eventually, everybody might not be able to have their own business or anything like that. But what you can say is this: getting fired a lot of times is a good thing. Now, imagine this. I work for this company. When they fired me, they wouldn't even allow me to go back into my own desk to get my stuff. Now, the guy who's walking me to the office knows that when he lets me go, I can't go back and get my shit. And that right there was enough for me to never want to have another job again, if I can deal with it. The fact that I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being rude, and I can't even get my own stuff. You have to bring me my own shit to me, and I don't have that much control over the situation because I can't get my own stuff. That's enough for me to never want to do that. And I want to talk about that in terms of black men, in terms of people. Take your skill set or develop skill set and try to develop as much self-agency as you can, as much autonomy as you can for yourself. And don't let people beat you up because you lost a job. Getting a job is always a very simple or unique thing. You can always work for somebody else and get little to nothing. There's nothing to brag about. There's nothing to be ashamed about. But the thing about it is, no one is ever going to give you what you think you deserve. Nobody can pay you that. Nobody can give you that. So take this as a personal testimony for those of you who watch my YouTube channel when I was starting off doing videos in the bathroom to where I am now, to the production that I'm trying to get to now. You guys know who've been following me. You know, it's all in your effort. It's all in your work. That there is no limits on what you can do personally. And I'm telling you this as I'm speaking to you from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. So have some self-agency. You know, take time to reevaluate your life decision, what you want for your life, what you want out of your life. Take the unemployment, take it for 6 months, you know, and sit back and really think about what you want to do. Don't be upset. Don't be angry that you got fired. It's easy to be upset or angry. It's easy to get on Facebook and talk shit about the company or wish they would take you back. Okay, that's easy. And now what I found out, listen to this, since I've been away from that company, almost all the employees have been let go. Because all of those people never thought about developing their own self-agency. When you're working for a job, you're getting good money, you're not thinking about what happens when this money stops. Because all the time, companies are going to look for ways to take money from you to save money for themselves. Especially if you are close to the bottom of the company, you're almost never safe. You're the first to be downsized. You work the hardest. There's no doubt about it. So I want you to think about that in terms of where you are, in terms of you losing a job. In about a year or 2 or 3 later, talk to those people, they'll be gone too. All right? So the people who are making fun of you for getting fired will also be gone. So guys, thank you for your support. I'm glad you listened to this video. For those of you that want to support the channel, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video. That's pretty much it. I'll be back home tomorrow, so I won't have any streams going on today. I'm filming this before my flight, so I'll schedule this for later on today. And again, as you know, the buffoonery remains at the all-time high. I'm out. Peace.